Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today we are officially learning about the history of the Chinese Super League and how did it go down into a downfall, like an extreme downfall. This is gonna be a long one, so brace yourself for this one, okay? Let's get into this. Here we go. Though it could be argued that football was invented by the Chinese organized league play of association football in China only began in 1951 when the establishment of a Chinese National Football Conference as the round-robin tournament with 8 teams participating. Development was rapid. In 1954, the competition was renamed to the National Football League. In 1956, it was divided into two divisions, and promotion and relegation between the two tiers. Starting in 1957, in the 1980s, the Chinese Football Association allowed enterprise entities to sponsor and invest in football teams, and as a result, the league entered into a semi-pro period in 1987, sponsored by Goyang Group. The league played its first ever home and away season. Participating were on top 7 clubs of the 1986 Division 1, together with Leauges, who were 1985 season champions, but did not compete in the 1986 league season due to participating in the Asian Cup Club Championship. The tournament was renamed into a National Football League Division 1. Group A, or Chinese A League for short, or the other 8 clubs of Division 1 and the top 4 clubs of Division 2 participated in the Chinese B League. The two groups merged in the 1988 season, but divided again in 1989. In the early 1990s, the CFA began to allow enterprises to purchase football clubs and manage them whenever they state-owned enterprise or private-owned companies. And in 1992, it was announced that a part of a sports system reform project, the Chinese A League, would become the country's first professional football league, starting with the 1994 season. All July A clubs were ordered to set up professionally before 1994, and all of the B clubs were given an extra year to realize professional structural reform. The GIA League achieved success in the early years, but in the late 90s, it managed to received heavy criticism. Special attention were paid of a lack of continuity in key policies, as well as the lack of sustainable development in certain member clubs. At the same time, the league was affected by gambling, match fixing, and corruption. As a result of the chaos, the GIA had become a troubled investment environment, with sponsors and clubs owners both bawling out in resignation of Evramonian, I can't even pronounce it, you can pronounce it, as well as the multitude and the other factors of the Chinese Football Association decided to reform the league system, which ultimately led to the creation of the Chinese Super League. On January 13, 2001, Yan Sunonio, the vice president of the Chinese Football Association, discussed setting up with a new professional league system, and in 2002, the CFA announced the establishment of a Chinese Super League, with the first season beginning in 2004 and ending in introducing truly commercial methods, and led to professional football market in China operate more freely The Chinese Super League seeks to draw the experience of professional leagues in Europe to redesign the league structure and strength of professionalism. Compared to the GIA, the Chinese Super League is a lot more demanding on terms. The Chinese Football Association and the Chinese Super League commit and oppose of a range of minimum criteria ensure the professional management and administration are financially probably and youth development program at every club. The Chinese Super League published the first edition of the Chinese Super League club criteria in 2002 and has received several time club license system was introduced since 2004. Besides the regular professional league, the Chinese Super League has Reserves League and Youth Super League plays in the under 19, under 17, under 15, under 13, and under 13 levels. The Chinese Super League and China's League One goals are promoted in high quality and high level competition, introduced advanced managerial competence on the market, and force of delivery and minimum standards of professionalism, encourage of influx or higher quality foreign coaches and players, are gradually established the European system for players and registrations and transfers. The first Chinese Super League season began in 2004 with 12 teams in the league, and the inaugural season was played with controversy, with continued of a former league GIA and were since 1999. Scandals such as match fixing, gambling, and have been uncovered. This resulted in the loss of interest of domestic game, low attendance, and great financial losses. The original plan was to have relegated one team and promoted two teams in the 2004 season and 2005 season, thus increasing the number of teams in 2006 to 14. But the Chinese Football Association's decision caused the relegations to be cancelled for these 2 years. For the 2005 season, the league expanded to 14 teams. However, the Wang Hazunzania and Xiaozhuan won promotion from the Chinese League One. The Zhanru teams, formerly named Zhanru Ambling, had been brought by the Shanghai Zobren real estate company and relocated to Shanghai for the 2005 season and subsequently renamed to Shanghai Zobren. In 2006, the league was planned to expand to 16 teams, with the newly promoted Xianblue Lions and Sherman-Rantani. However, Swanshan First City withdrew before the first start of the season, leaving only 15 teams. When the season started on March 11th, Shanghai Zobren, after another change of ownership, were renamed to Shanghai United. In 2007, the league again planned to expand to 16 teams, but once again found itself on one team short. Shanghai United's owner, Zhu Jun, bought a major share in the local rival, Shanghai Shenhua, and merged into two teams. As a result, Shanghai Shenhua, its name has been already had a strong fan base in the city, while Shanghai United pulled out of the league. In 2008, the season with 16 clubs participating for the first time. However, Juan protested against punishments made by the Chinese Football Association after a match against Beijing Guoan and announced an immediate withdrawal from the league, which left in the season to finish with 15 clubs. Since 2009, the league has run with 16 stable clubs participating each year. 2 are relegated for China League 1 and 2 are promoted from the China League 1 each season. In 2010, the Chinese Super Leauge, based on a scandal going right on top of the Chinese Football Association, the Chinese government took a national action against football gambling, match fixing, and corruption, and the former Chinese Football Associations or something like that. President Zhang Liang, Nan Yang, and Yang Ling were arrested. On February 22nd, 2010, the CFA relegated Guangzhou Yanguo, then the match fixing in 2006 in China League 1 season, as well as General Battles in the match fixing in 2007 into China's League 1 season. In 2011, anti-corruption movements has visibly improved image of the Chinese CS by the Chinese Super Leauge, with the increase of the attendance. Clubs such as Guangzhou Evergrande and Shanghai Shuangzhen began investing heavily in foreign stars, and former Florentines midfielder Daniel Kozania transferred in 2011. Some notable signings during the 2012 seasons, including former Chelsea forward Didier Drogba and Nicolas Arcarena, from former Barcelona midfielder Sergio Cartella and Fabio Wernbach, former Sevilla forward Felipe Conete from Blackburn Rovers, Jan Rico from Borussia Dortmund, Lagos Boratias from the former Japanese national team coach Tanoshi Okamura took up the reins of the new coach of the Hangzhou Greentown, and former Argentine national team coach Sergio Barretta replaced Gian Tangrena. As Shanghai Shuangzhen's head coach of former Italy national team and Juventus manager Marco Leope replaced Li Jiang Soto as Guangzhou Evergrande's head coach. In 2012, Guangzhou Evergrande became the first Chinese team to defend their Chinese Super Leauge title and to win their consecutive titles. However, 8-time champions professional league Dalian Sunrise had seriously financial problems during the entire season, especially after arrest of a club owner, Sui Ming. They had to plan the merge of the Dalian Albrian in the other Chinese Super Leauge club in the city, but the Chinese Football Association blocked the merger in the end, as the Dalian Shaolin failed to cancel their registrations as a Chinese Super Leauge club before the merger. So Umbrian effectively purchased and swallowed up Swire, including the club's farmed academy and training facilities. Dalian Sunrise was officially dissolved on January 31st of 2013. The country's most successful club had ceased to exist. In 2013, David Beckham became the first global ambassador for the Chinese Super Leauge. In February 2013, Shanghai Shuangzhen was stripped of its 2003 Chinese A League title. As part of a board match-fixing crackdown, in total of 12 clubs were handed punishments, as well as people including the former Chinese Football Association Vice President Xie Liang and Nan Yong received life bans. Also in 2013, Guangzhou Evergrande and Tableau won the Asian Champions League title for the first time, as the Chinese Super League has won that award. In 2014, Guangzhou Evergrande became the first Chinese club to win 4 consecutive professional league titles. In 2015, ex-Tottenham midfielder Panoanio moved to Guangzhou Evergrande at the age of 27. Guangzhou Evergrande become AFC Champions League champions for the second time. In 2016, the Chinese Super League became a rising power in the global transfer market. Brazil International's Ramirez, Colombia International Jackson Mascherinias, and Freddy Guarani were among of the notable signings, while Pavel Nedved was appointed as the second global ambassador for the Chinese Super League. In 2017, the Chinese Super League capacitated global attention. Players such as Oscar Carlos Tevez, Retro Cavado, Alexander Pato, and Mikhail John Obi all moved east during that year. Guangzhou Evergrande won their 7th consecutive league title. 2018 in the 28th round of the 2018 Chinese Super League, in the 2 favorites, the Shanghai SPIG or Shanghai Port FC and Guangzhou Evergrande's Tableau clashed head-to-head, with Shanghai Port coming away with a 5-4 hard win over the Guangzhou Evergrande's. Tableau opened up a points grab, and Guangzhou Evergrande's Tableau at last of its Shanghai Port won the 2018 Chinese Super League champion, thus breaking Guangzhou's Evergrande's Tableau 7-year monopoly of the Chinese Super League. As the 2019 Chinese Super League mobilization meeting, the Chinese Football Association refers committee officially announced that the professional referee system will be introduced in the Chinese Super League. In 2019, with 2 foreign referees, including Mark Coronius, Maricolania, and 3 local referees have been officially hired as the first professional referees in the history of the Chinese football. And 2 foreign professional referees be mainly responsible for enforcing the Chinese Super League, but will also provide coaching and training for local referees. And affected by the 2019 or the COVID-19 pandemic, the 2020 Chinese Super League has been postponed to July 25th. The 16 teams were divided into 2 groups to play in Quanzhou and Dalian. This year's league was temporarily changed to a group stage knockout format and adopted into a tournament system. But how many teams were in the Chinese Super League? The number of teams was 16, and the Chinese Super League, meaning in the 2022 season, has been horrible for the Chinese Super League. Many players left, but Oscar stayed at the Shanghai Port and is currently playing for them. But somehow, some clubs have gone bankrupt, including a lot of clubs too. There was the likes of Chubei FC, which was officially bankrupt in March of 2023. And the Chinese Super League has lost its attendance, except for Shanghai Ports because they want to see Oscar and all that one. But Hubei FC, also known as the longest, or also known as the lowest rated team in FIFA 23, I mentioned it in my lowest ranking teams in FIFA 23 short, but it was unfortunately cut short. That Guangzhou have been relegated to League One, I think so, but Beijing Guangzhou and all the other leagues too are staying here, but Hubei FC is the main one here, and is officially bankrupt. Like some clubs has officially gone bankrupt or officially ceased to exist. Now it's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed it and give an advice to, yeah, basically. So the Chinese Super League is gone downfall basically. So thank you for watching this video. Hope you have an amazing day, a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow for Messi's rise at Inter Miami. And how did Messi's move to Inter Miami impact the entire United States opinion on soccer or football basically. So see you in the next video and tomorrow. See ya.